Hi! So I'm here to do my top 5 books that I've read in 2012, and people have been posting this and asking around what's my top picks and how many books I've read and so on and so forth. So I just thought I would make a video and a blog post about it. It actually took me a while to put on the list. My total free time combined, I read at least 48 books, perhaps more. Because to be honest with you, I lost track. I've read a lot of graphic novels, and short stories, so I divide it in 2 categories. The first one would be my top 5 graphic novels, and the second one would be the novel and short stories. So yeah, here we go! My top 5 graphic novels of 2012. Number 5, Farsight Gallery by Gary Larson. I think anything by Gary Larson is so hilarious, I mean in a good way. It's comic strips about life, talking animals, weird sense of humor, and I think anything by Gary Larson is so awesome. If you're in for a good time and a good hearty laugh, make sure to check out Gary Larson. It will definitely make you laugh so hard. Number 4, Get Giro by Anthony Bourdain. If you don't know Anthony Bourdain, he's a top chef, the host of The Layover and No Reservations. And I was like, wow, Anthony Bourdain, an author? Because apparently he wrote a couple of books way back, but I didn't know except this one. And this is actually the graphic novel on this category that's actually released last year. What I like about Get Giro is that kick-ass, awesome character. He'll definitely teach you proper etiquette and eating Japanese food. And if ever you step on his shop and eat it in an inappropriate way, your head will definitely be chopped off. Expect a lot of blood because it's quite brutal, but of course expect some really good and awesome food. It's like a dystopian kind of book, but culinary stuff in it. So yeah, if you're in that kind of thing, make sure to check out Get Giro by Anthony Bourdain. Number 3, The Color of Magic by Terry Pratchett. This is the first book I've read by Terry Pratchett, and this is actually book 1 of the This World series. And this graphic novel actually works for me than the novel, because sometimes a novel will just throw in and he'll write and describe all these magnificent things, and it's just so overwhelming. It's like information overload. So yeah, that's why I love graphic novels, because they're so visually appealing and it's easier for the reader to actually look at the world and the way it's described. Like, wow, the illustrations are beautiful, and I must say that this book has a great tandem. It's very funny, and if you're in for a one-of-a-kind adventure and if you love fantasy, definitely check out this series. But I must tell you right now that this series is so long, but then it's really, really good. Number 2, The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. And it's a classic, it's epic, it's wonderful, like everything in it is so awesome. I actually read this in preparation for the movie, and if you don't want to read the whole novel by itself, I think the graphic novel would suffice, and you will actually finish in the nick of time. I love the illustrations, the story, the character development. It's wonderfully written and awesomely made. And I think this is a good way to actually keep track with the dwarves, who's who, what is what. Definitely check this out. Number 1, the Sandman series by Mr. Neil Gaiman. I love this series so much. I love Neil Gaiman. I like how Mr. Neil Gaiman will tell you his stories like a story within a story kind of format, but then it works. I didn't like every volume. There are some volumes that it was okay, but then overall the series combined is so awesome. I mean, it's wonderful. It's epic. So yeah, definitely if you haven't read anything by Neil Gaiman, I think Neverwhere and the Sandman series is a good way to go. So yes, that's my top 5 graphic novels of 2012. Okay, so moving on with my top 5 novels and short stories. Number 5, The Tales of Beedle the Bard by J.K. Rowling. I think I'm having some Harry Potter withdrawals like last year, so I'm really glad I found a copy, even though I'm a muggle, but according to Pottermore, I'm actually magical. So yeah, if you have a Pottermore account, feel free to add me in. I think my username is OrBludger. It's on my channel page. So yeah, moving on with the book. What I like about this book is that it has really unique original stories. It has moral lessons to it. It's an instant classic for me. Though it lacks the story of Grubby the Goat, I love it either way. And I love how Dumbledore explains to you or have a brief intro and outro on every story so that you'll understand furthermore what it's all about. My all-time favorite would have to be the story about three witches and the night, and of course the Deathly Hallows. Number 4, Hunger Games by Susan Collins. And what I like about Hunger Games, it kept me awake. Even though there's a lot of controversial surrounding this novel, people are saying this is a rip-off of Battle Royale, which is kind of, yeah. But then what I like about this is Katniss Everdeen. She's a strong, brave, family-oriented, awesome, kick-ass, fierce character, and she actually made me want to learn how to handle and shoot a bow and arrow. I think this is also my first dystopian novel, and it should be on everyone's list of dystopian novels. If you haven't read any dystopian novel, I think Hunger Games is also a good way to go. And just in case you're wondering, I'm actually Team PETA on this one. Number 3, this is A Crazy Planets by Mr. Lourdes de Vera. There's a lot of Filipino sense of humor. On this one, it's mixed English and Tagalog, sometimes Taglish. And what I like about Mr. Lourdes is that he will tell you his stories like in a straightforward manner. Whether it's offensive or not, he will definitely tell you what's totally happening in the Philippines, like some issues about politics, celebrities, gossip, especially pop culture. I think that's really, really funny. He's like the combination of the Vlogbrothers. He's that awesome. And it's hella Pinoy, and it actually helps if you're Filipino because there are some things that's really funny and good when you say it on Filipino, but then when you translate it on different language, it's totally different and you'll be like, what the heck? For number 2, I chose The Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. And this is actually the first book I've read by Patrick Ness, and I've heard nothing but good things about his works. I love the illustrations, the story, the character development. I like how he pointed out some moral issues, but then again deal with it in the same way. I actually have no idea that it's gonna be sad and kind of have that psychological kind of thing of a story, plus some cancer topic as well. And I learned a lot of valuable lessons here about life and alternative medicine and healing when it comes to cancer. And I'm gonna put that link below the description box so you can check it out and look and share it with other people as well. So yeah, for my chart topper number 1, it would have to be One Day by David Nichols. You might saw it coming. I love David Nichols so much. So I don't know, it's one of those books that actually made my all-time favorite list, and this is totally the book that I would actually reread, like, for real. And this is the love team I'm actually rooting for, like Emma and Dexter. They're so adorable and they're so funny. They're so perfect together. I would ship them so hard, and I want them to be real. I love their character, the story, their character development. Everything on this book is just so freaking awesome. The ending was, of course, totally unexpected for me. Like, no matter how many times I read this book, it's like, oh my gosh, so many emotions. I love the book, I love the movie adaptation of the book, I love everything about it. If you're a fan of contemporary romance, coming of age novels, and adventures, Eurotrip, definitely check this book out. Or if you're just curious like me, it's definitely worth buying. Truly an instant classic. So yeah, that's my top 5 books of 2012 in 2 categories. Tell me in the comments below if you read any of them, if you liked them. And if you're curious what other books I've also read last year, I'm gonna put the blog post links below and other necessary things below the description box. So don't forget to check it out. And thank you so much for watching yet again. See you next time. Bye!